want to ask you, does your work feel like a chore? Too much of our tasks and responsibilities feel frustrating and hard. Many of us are giving away our gift and selling our frustration. It's a lose-lose proposition if you really think about it. We don't get paid for what we're the best at, and we only get paid a very little for the things that we're not really great at. All right, welcome back to another episode of Increase, episode 70, about to get underway. It's honored that you join me here wherever you're listening or watching, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It means a lot to me that you take the time and listen, engage in this conversation. This is a podcast where we take spiritual principles, learn how to apply them naturally, and today is going to be just that. I think it's a great episode topic we're going to cover right on the heels of a 3-part series that we had on faith. Hope that everybody through the last few episodes really thought about how faith is so important in everything we do and is a critical component to our success. If you didn't watch the last few episodes, it's episodes 67, 68, and 69. I had some friends over the other night, and one of them made a great comment that they had believed that a mediocre decision with faith was better than the right decision without faith. And I couldn't agree more, because we often think that it's our decisions that make the difference, that the physical activities that we do, if we pull the lever the exact right way, then we're going to get great results. And certainly our activities are a function of it. But the real results that we experience in this life is ultimately a product of our belief. It's a product of our faith. We know quantum physics has discovered what they call the observer effect. That showed that when you look for a subatomic particle in a vacuum, when you're not looking for it, it seems to not be present. But the moment that you want to see it, it shows up. So that's quantum physics really explaining what the Bible says about faith. Jesus would say, "Be it unto you as your faith." So as we believe, we will get the results that we want to see. And there's so much interaction in the world that we can't see, more so than just the cell phone signals and the cable signals that are out there, but also your faith, because you are sending off signals of belief, signals of expectation. And so on the heels of that, I want to ask you, is there a better way? I have a lot of conversations, leadership conversations in the community with business leaders and people who want more, and recently had coffee with a group of folks and had a gentleman who I think had a really good early career, is in a second career in his life, and felt like purpose was just elusive and was really struggling to connect to his purpose. And I could tell that life should be easier. This was an awesome man who cared deeply for people, wanted to see people have better lives, but the work that he was doing seemed hard, and it didn't seem connected enough with what was meaningful to him. And I thought, what a shame for us to spend all of our waking time here on this planet in such a short life that we get, doing things that are hard, doing things that are unfulfilling, and not enjoying the fullness of the life that we have, and always feel like there's this song left in us ready to be sung. So I want to ask you, does your work feel like a chore? Have you ever had a time in your life where work felt like a chore? Maybe you're lucky enough and you enjoy what you're doing, but we hear it all the time. We hear people that they don't enjoy their work. They hate their job. Work feels like a chore. Too much of our tasks and responsibilities feel frustrating and hard. Going to work all day long doing things that should be hard. And many of us believe that work's supposed to be hard. And if it's not hard, it's not real work. You ever found yourself feeling like that? Like work is the only thing that's hard, and that you really should only get paid to do hard things? The unfortunate thing is when we have this this theology or outlook on life that work is supposed to be hard, that we undervalue the easy things. And oftentimes it's the easy things that we're really good at. So many of us are giving away our gift and selling our frustration. Think about that for a second. The thing that you're the best in the world at, you're giving away for free. You're going to work to do the thing that you're not even really good at and you don't even really like to do. You know, it's a lose-lose proposition if you really think about it. We don't get paid for what we're the best at, and we only get paid a very little for the things that we're not really great at. And before we know it, the time is gone and there's no time left. Many of us have resigned ourselves to thinking, well, I do hard work for the 40 hours a week that I get paid, and then I get to do the things that I really like to do for free. There's got to be a better way. Does it have to be so hard? Is there a better way? And that's really what I want to dig into today. I'm reminded of this famous quote by Howard Thurman. He was an author, philosopher, educator. Some say he was a mentor to Martin Luther King. And he said, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Wow, can you imagine? The world is waiting for you to come alive. What the universe and the world and all the people on this planet need is for you, listener. For you, person who's got pin-up frustrations and so much potential locked up inside. What they need from you is for you to come alive. You're the answer to their problems. You're maybe the answer to society's problems. What would happen if more people were excited to leave the house to go to work every morning because they knew they were doing something that made them come alive? Would that change your life? I tell you, it would probably change more than just your life. It'd probably change the lives of all around. Think about it. A bunch of happy people going off to work every day, loving what they do. It may seem impossible because too many of us have done jobs that we just don't like, but I'm telling you, there's a better way. So is there anything that we can do about it? Well, I want to focus on two things that I think that we can do about it. And hopefully I start to open your eyes, especially if you find yourself in a job that's hard or you don't like. And you start to open your eyes to a different way. And the sheer understanding and belief and knowledge of something, of a better way being possible, will get you looking for different opportunities. And likely as you engage your faith around that possibility, you'll begin to see other opportunities. You know, the kingdom of God is within. The Bible says, and have so above, so below. And I would say, so inside, so outside. You know, your outside results are the product of your internal beliefs. So let's change some internal beliefs. Let's rewire this belief that things have to be hard to make money. Change and understand, no, when they're easy, I'm the best. And that's where I can make the most money. So here's the two things that you can do. One, find your purpose. And two, serve others and solve problems. So let's dig into those individually. If you're taking notes, this is the time to start writing some things down. So first, I want to talk to you about your purpose. We don't put near enough priority on this. It's a shame that kids go to school for 12 years and then another 4 and maybe another 4, and they learn a whole lot of things, and they walk away with all that education and all that money spent with a whole bunch of knowledge. But what they don't have is the most important thing that they need to know, which is their purpose. You know, Dolly Parton once said, find out why you're here and do it on purpose. See, what the most successful people in the world have figured out is they've figured out what their purpose is, and they devote all of their time to it. We need to find our purpose. See, your purpose is that thing that makes you come alive. Your purpose is not your assignment. See, that right there we have to unlock. Because many of us think, well, I'm a teacher, so my purpose is a teacher. My calling is a teacher. I'm a builder, so my calling is a builder. I'm a business person, so my purpose is business. Not exactly. You got to understand there's a difference between your assignment and your purpose. You see, your assignment is what is the tasks that you're asked to do. Maybe the thing that you're paid to do, the responsibilities that you have. That's your assignment. Your assignment might have a job title. It might come with a salary or a contract, but it's not your purpose. It's your assignment. Your purpose is the things that you were born with. It is what you take to your assignment. It's the thing that makes you come alive and makes you the best in the world, and the thing that maybe makes you good at your assignment. But don't confuse the two, because you'll limit your purpose, and you don't want to do that. Here's the other thing you got to know about your purpose, that your purpose, when you're living on purpose, it's life-giving. It is easy. You are at the best. You are the best. You are at your best, and you feel the best when you are able to live life on purpose. When you're living on purpose, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun. You're in that flow state where work stands still and you're having enjoyment and you're living at the fullest capacity of what's possible for you, operating at the highest level of your potential. That's what a lot of people would now call flow state, and we would say it's when we're living on purpose, when we're connected to why we were specifically put here and what we're specifically put here to do. We might find ourselves in an assignment, but we're put here to do something so much bigger than that. So I want to help you understand how to discover your purpose. Now, we did a 5-part deep dive on in a series called On Purpose, and you'll find that in the archives of YouTube, youtube.com/@learn-to-increase. youtube.com/learn-to-increase. You'll find those 5 episodes called On Purpose. We did a deep dive into these components. But essentially what you have to know is your purpose is made of 3 components, okay? Your vision, you might say your dream, your gift, and your calling. Okay, your vision, your gift, and your calling. Those 3 things put together form your unique purpose. I'll take a minute just to unpack each one. I can't do a deep dive on it, but I'll tell you enough to get you started, right? So that vision is the dream that you have on your heart, and it's super important. You know, the Bible says, Proverbs 29:18, that without vision, the people perish. Right? And what that means is if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have an expected end, if you don't have a hope for a future to get somewhere better, you're going to wander astray. Right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll drop dead, but you'll wander astray and maybe perish out there in the wrong place. So vision is important. And what you got to know is God has placed vision in all of our hearts. Ephesians 1:17 says, enlighten the eyes of our heart, right? With wisdom and revelation, that we might know the hope to which we've been called. See, it's important that we understand the vision that God's placed in our life. And it's the dream that's been with us. Okay? And it's uniquely related to our gift and our calling, right? So vision is our desire, our hope for the future, to create more, to become more, right? To be fruitful and multiply into something great, to leave a legacy, right? Our gift is that thing that you are better at than anyone else in the world, right? So in Proverbs it says that your gift makes room for you and brings you for the presence of great men. See, your gift is the thing that you're better than anyone else in the world at. Your gift is something that you are always using. You look through, it's kind of the lens in which you see the world. I've realized about myself, my gift is that I see the way. Right? I see sequence, I see patterns, I see frameworks, I see how things are put together. My gift is that I see the way and I'm able to show the way. Okay, now I've used that gift in many of the assignments. So I've done a lot in the real estate and building space. I've been a carpenter, I've been a remodeler, I've been a construction worker, I've been a general contractor, I've been a business owner, I've been a real estate investor, and all along the way, as I was able to use my gift to excel. I was able to learn things fast because I could see the sequence and the patterns and how things were put together. I was able to design better structures. I was able to build teams and companies because I could see how they needed to be put together, and I was able to communicate that way to other people that joined me. See, I understand that's my gift. Now, some people would say, well, your purpose is you're a builder. No, that's been one of my assignments. But see, I use that gift everywhere I go. I've used it a lot as a builder, but I use that gift when I volunteer. You see, if you and I were going to volunteer to help the church put mulch around the outside of the building, and a whole bunch of people showed up, my gift would quickly see the quickest and most efficient way to use the manpower and the materials to get that job done faster. If we were going to do a project where we were going to maybe design a curriculum for a Sunday school class, the same thing. I would see patterns and sequence, and I'd be able to put them in a framework in an order that was easy to explain a complicated issue to people maybe weren't informed about the subject matter. So what's your gift? What's the thing that you do better? What's the thing that you're always doing? What's the lens in which you see the world and you can't help yourself, but you're always looking for a certain thing? You're always looking for a certain way to do things. Right? So my wife's gift is to enliven. Everywhere she goes, she's trying to make things better. She's trying to make things come alive and provide joy everywhere she goes. If she would come over to your house, she would want to set the table, and she'd want to do it in a way that made everybody feel happy when she comes together. When we have guests over, she's always buying extra flowers and rearranging furniture so that it makes the conversations and the time that we have together so much more enlivening. She's a songwriter and singer, and her songs are about uplifting people and giving people hope, because everywhere she goes, she wants to enliven. When she goes to a workout class, everyone knows her because of her presence, and her personality is trying to help everyone feel enlivened and let them know that they're valued and things are possible. See, you take your gift to all of your assignments. It's the thing that makes you good at those assignments, right? And then last is your calling. So you have your vision, which is the dream, the vision for the future, something that you want to create, that you wanted your life to amount to. Then you have your gift, that thing you're the best at. Then you have your calling. And so your calling is this deep desire on your heart. The Bible says deep calls out to deep like the rushing waterfall. There's these things on your heart that you just feel like it's a problem you have to solve. I think about it like this. Jesus said in the Bible, they asked him, what's the greatest commandment? And he said, the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, and your soul. And the other one is like that one, that you would love your neighbor as yourself. And 1 John 5 says that to love God is to keep his commandments, but keeping his commandments is not grievous. It means it's not hard to keep his commandments. So he's saying it's actually not hard for you to love God, and it's not hard for you to love others. Why? Because it's innate and instinctual for us as a human being to want to help others. There's a certain problem that you want to help people with. There's a certain way in which you love to help people. So what I know about myself is because I have a gift to show people the way, and I personally want to help people get to the next level. So if your problem is you're trying to move to a different house, my mind is thinking, how can we find a house in the best location and in your price point, and how can we arrange all of your stuff to get there on the right time through creating a great strategy or plan? Other people, their desire is to help someone get to the next level, but they want to serve through acts of service. And when you say you want to move, they're like, what day are you packing this stuff? I want to move boxes because I love to help in that way. There's a particular way that you want to help people. And if you're honest with yourself, the reality is you're always trying to help people in that way. Whether you're doing it at your assignment, whether you're doing it at church, whether you're doing it with your kids, there's a certain problem that you're desperate to solve and you want to help other people solve. You know, we have these problems sometimes where they're so frustrating that you almost can't pay us enough money to help with. But then we also have these other problems that we would solve for free. It's the problem that you would get up in the middle of the night for. It's the problem that someone could disrupt your whole day and you would give them your full attention to help them solve. You know, it's a great way to start uncovering your purpose. It's been with you the whole time, but it's oftentimes so elusive. And the reason is we're looking on the outside for something that can only be found within. But I want to give you some ways to start seeing your purpose. So you have these components, but we need to start looking back through our story to find these components and see where they've been revealed to us. So ask yourself these three questions. What has made me come alive? What's made you come alive? What are the times in your life where you felt like you were floating, that you were the best in the world and you were excited to do it and it felt like everything was possible? What were you doing at that part, and what was it about those moments? What particular task or responsibility can you connect that to? And you find enough of those moments and you'll see the common denominators behind those moments. The other thing I would ask you is, what are you the best in the world at? What are you the best in the world at? What's that one thing that you seem to be better than everybody else? I know you might feel braggadocious and people are afraid to give themselves credit, but if we're honest with ourselves, there's certain things that we're just really good at. That it makes us the best at some of the jobs that we have, or people always give us compliments in a certain way, right? The other way to think is the opposite. Like, when do you get frustrated and where do you feel confined? You see, the times we're the most frustrated or feel the most confined is the times we feel bottled up, where our gift is not given an area to help. You see, you have to look and think your gift, your calling are the things that are on the inside that you look for fertile environments to plant them in on the outside. They're always trying to work, but the assignments that we have are different environments, and some of them are more fruitful for our particular gift and calling. Some of them feel like a clear path to accomplish our vision. And as you start to see them, you start to connect with your purpose. And the more that you can see and connect with your purpose in everything that you do, the more you lean in to the things that are better fit for your purpose, and the more you lean out from the things that aren't. Some of the most loving things that you will do in life is to say no. When someone asks you to help in a way that's not your purpose, when someone asks you to help with something that frustrates you. Because really, how loving is it to do something for someone when you're frustrated the whole time while you're doing it, versus saying, you know what, I'm so supportive of what you're trying to do, but that's not a way that I'm able to help very well. But I could help you in this way. It's like someone wants to move, asking me to physically move boxes. There are times I've helped plenty of people move, but the best that I could do for them wouldn't be to move the boxes for them. It might be to create the plan and the strategy to help them get into that new house. So as we're trying to find that better way, first we need to find that purpose. And then the other thing that we need to do, the second thing, is we need to serve others and we need to solve problems. See, what you have to know is if you want to make more money, then you have to do one of two things. You either got to serve more people or you got to solve bigger problems. See, the law of compensation says that you're going to be compensated in direct correlation to the amount of value that you put out into the world. Well, where are you able to give the most value to the world? In the thing that makes you frustrated? The thing that you think the world needs? Or the thing where you're the best in the world at? That thing that makes you come alive. You see, if you want to provide more value, if you want to get more value, if you want to make more money, then we've got to solve bigger problems, or we've got to serve more people. And so we use our gifts, our callings, our purpose to serve the world. And the more value we exchange with other people, the more money that we can make. The more money that we can make, the more people that we can serve. The more people serve, the more money we make. The more money we make, the more people that we get to serve. And the same with the problems that we solve. The bigger the problems we solve, the more money that we make. The more money we make, the even bigger problems we can solve. And oftentimes the bigger problems are serving more people, and they're somewhat tied together. So there is a better way than spending our lives frustrated, giving of our worst only to get very little, while giving away our best never to receive anything. You see, what the world needs is for you to come alive and you to offer what makes you come alive. And if you'll do that, you'll never work another day in your life. There's a better way, and there's a better way possible for you. Now, as you unpack these, as you connect with this thing that's been alive in you your whole life, the things that you were born with, things may not change tomorrow, but you have a different outlook on life. You know, Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I know that will be possible for you. And I know you'll be given to see things differently. You'll see opportunities differently. You'll see yourself differently. You'll stop undervaluing the thing that you're better than anyone else at. You'll start offering the world the thing that makes you come alive. This is what they desperately need. Because we need you to come alive. Your family needs you to come alive. And the joy that you're wanting will happen as you come alive in your purpose and you live more fully on purpose everywhere you go. I hope this episode has helped you. Continue to join us for more episodes of Increase.